Hey, it's Chris Bowling.
Hey, it's Chris Fire.
It is Friday. We're looking at a nice long weekend.
Absolutely.
Hope you're excited about that. But that's not why we're on screen today. What are we talking about?
Well, it's a new year. We're marching into the end of the first quarter. And Chris, we've talked with a lot of employers that have come back to us who have, again, said no thank you before to working with us. And that has been fine. We've continued to stay in contact. And it's amazing how many we're going back and asking, so how has things evolved or how have things changed since we last met? It's okay. So what's okay? Relationship with my consultant, it's okay. Or, nothing's really changed there. It's moving along. But what I'm hearing from so many of these conversations is it's okay. And I'm going to put that to the side because I've got fires that I can't put out in all these other areas. I can't find employees. I can't keep employees. My HR staff is dealing with additional burdens because of all the different regulations. I know that I can be better performing down the road, and I need to be because I've got objectives to hit, and my benefit strategy is a key piece of that. But right now, status quo is easy because everything else is hard. And I think that's reality for a lot of our employer groups that we're talking to today. Is it is hard to make changes. So I've heard that many times here in the last few weeks as we've had review conversations.
Yeah, I think yesterday when you and I were in a meeting, we said that there's what six potential clients that we're talking to that told us no a year ago or 3 years ago or 5 years ago.
Yep.
And it's interesting how, 2020 was just scramble mode, right? I mean, COVID was in full force. It was, I just got to get through this renewal. 2021, I think we were all hopeful, that maybe this is behind us, but it was still difficult. And, I just left a meeting with the same conversation. And I think our process opens the eyes of what should be done to be high performing. The beauty of that process is when we come and revisit, hey, this is what we showed you a year ago, 2 years ago. What has changed? And the answer is nothing.
Nothing. Still doing the same stuff.
And what do you think is going to change? So,
and I would agree with that. In 20, it was Scramble. We were just trying to fix problems every hour. In 21, we started to revisit that old strategy that we talked to you about that you weren't ready to pull the trigger on. And now you realize that strategy could help you. Chris, how do you get the rest of my day as busy as it is off my plate so that I can actually focus on these performance indicators that I know I need to implement?
And change is what they fear because change requires work.
Yeah.
And our job is to make small adjustments that don't require work. It requires work on our team,
right,
but not on their team. And what I've seen so far in 2022, fully insured, rates are going through the roof.
Yes.
Increases are unbelievable. It's exactly what I think you and I had a session where we talked about the pent up demand on healthcare is going to come around and bite us. And we don't know what year that's going to happen. It's happening. I mean, the claims reports that I've been looking at are just 30% more, 50% more. The one I just reviewed yesterday, 300% more claims in 2021 than we had in 2020.
Yeah. And you would think that, oh, well, 2020 was reduced, so 2021 should be about like 2019. But no, because 2021 is now elevated conditions and more challenges. And you're exactly right. I think we're to the point that a CFO, an HR director, a CEO has to start making changes to how they access and pay for healthcare because okay is not going to work in 2022 or 3 if things continue to escalate. And that's where the opportunity lies. We've got the tools that they can use to reduce claims costs, to improve employee experience, but it's just stepping into that new world of okay was okay for so long. Okay is not okay anymore.
Right.
I will say now that I think about it, I mean, that's I think the okay conversation, I think there were 4 meetings that I can think of here recently where that was the theme of the conversation is we've been okay with okay, and that is not good enough anymore.
Yeah. And what's frustrating to me is some people base that on a renewal increase.
Yeah.
But yet maybe that was the year you had a good year. But if you're not being proactive, how long is that luck going to last? Because let's be honest, that's luck. That's not strategy. That's not skill. It's luck. And your luck will run out. This client that I just reviewed, their luck ran out, you know?
Yeah. And it will happen. And you know, it's a shift in priority from our industry too, is that, you know, it was easy when claims weren't bad to just say, well, that's a small increase, take it. We really don't have to do a whole lot of work. But that mindset for an advisor has to go away, because it could have been a low increase this year, but what should it have been? How good can it be? What can we do to keep employees' paychecks from being wiped out by their payroll deduction? What can we do to reduce their out-of-pocket expense and help them fight inflation? You know, if your premiums are going up, your out-of-pocket's going up, and everything else is going up, that doesn't make for a happy employee. So just okay it's got to be better. And I'm excited for what we're seeing put in place for clients, where they're really seeing proactive results because they decided to pull the trigger and make a change. And we're stepping into some messy situations, but we're starting to see improvements.
Yeah. And full disclosure, I said this was my client.
Yes.
So it's pushing our clients to start saying, I know you're busy, but if we don't do X, Y, and Z, this is going to happen. I've been preaching to this client for 3 years.
Yeah.
Got to start moving that needle. But you know what? We had 2 years of low single-digit increases. I'm swamped. I don't have time to do this. And it's not, you know, let us do our job. We'll do the work. But, you know, so once again, I'm not beating up on everybody else out there. We have our own clients that we've got to push to get to that next level, to implement the things that you don't want to do, because you're going to get that 30-some% increase. That's $250,000 or $1 million, whatever that number is. And now you're in scramble mode, and scramble mode stinks for everybody. I hate it. You hate it. And the client hates it.
That's a very good point. And again, pushing, encouraging, whatever we need to do to take action now when it's difficult. It's proposing the right ideas, but then also how do we minimize the noise of everything else you're dealing with? Put you in contact with this solution that can take that responsibility off your plate, so you do have time to focus. That I think will be a piece of how we help our clients and prospective clients win this year, helping them ease the burden so they can go out and actually do what we know they need to do.
Yeah. Well said.
Excellent. It's been a fun week, but yes, lots more to come. Lots that we're learning still this year. It's, again, every year is new, and it's really different again in 2022.
Totally agree. Well, thank you for sharing, Mr. Byer.
You as well, Mr. Bowling. We'll see you.